Hey guys, so we're here at the Limitless conference with Ken McElroy, Morby, Tarl Yarber, and Robert Kiyosaki, obviously. I'm super honored to be here at this thing because Ken McElroy is like the OG mentor for me. First deal I ever did on the multifamily side was with Ken McElroy. He still owns it to this day. Robert Kiyosaki, been following him, Morby, Tarl Yarber, all these guys, right? So for me, this is going to be a huge opportunity. Looking forward to it. The stages are massive. People are excited. We're going to take you guys on this journey and show you what it's all about. Let's go. So the cool thing about these conferences is literally, if you do what's called the signature talk right, and you can condense a really complicated topic, no matter what your topic is, into a clear, concise message that you can deliver in 20, 30, 40 minutes, you will literally create an environment where people are writing you checks because they've understood that you've clearly articulated the thing that they want in the order that they want it in. And that is a skill. Like that's literally a skill, and it applies to either raising tens of thousands of dollars for your business and making sales and new clients or products or services, whether you're a lawyer, an accountant, or whatever it is. Or if you're literally doing what we're doing, where you're raising, hundreds of thousands of dollars per investors or millions of dollars or tens of millions with large institutional term sheets or family offices, it's the same methodology. And literally, if you can just take that unfair advantage and create it in the right order, you will get the results. I'm proud to say I've sourced well into 9 figures in private capital at this point. That's the final version of being well branded. So we've distilled it literally to 5 things. The first one is high status. And how do you do that? Well, the easiest way to do it is actually through your thought leadership. Have a unique skill set that you develop through that role that gives you that level of competence. My fourth piece, which is the sense of trustworthiness. But how do you extend that goodwill beyond those people that have that history with you? And the answer to that is your unfair advantage.
Marcin, the man. This is the guy that knows how to raise capital. Are you kidding me?
Been good. But you know what was really cool with that presentation was we talked about what you need to be able to attract wealthy investors. And I talked about the 4 must-haves. And the first one was high status. So in other words, you have to be perceived as somebody as high status. Literally, they have to see you as an authority figure in a specific domain. Now, a lot of people struggle with, well, how do I be perceived high status? Well, here's the next piece. What is the one thing that you can take a thought leadership on? So in other words, there's a topic, there's a discipline, there's things that you've done that you can definitely demonstrate that you are somebody who knows what they're talking about. So what does that look like? That's step 2, is being able to demonstrate thought leadership. Step 3 is your competence and experience. So how do you demonstrate that you are competent and experienced in a very specific area? For me, obviously it's capital raising. For other people, maybe it's construction. That's Morby over there. He's a contractor, right? So for him, when he started building out his frame, it was a function of, hey, here's what I've done. Here's the construction background I got, all the trades, all the things. And that gave him his experience and competence in what he did. And then the last piece is that general trustworthiness. So when you look at somebody and you see what they do, does that knot in your stomach show up? And you've all met people like this where it's like, yeah, they know what they're doing, they look trustworthy, they got all these testimonials, but I don't trust them. And why is that? And that's typically the biggest problem with the trustworthiness piece. So when you wrap all of that up, you get something that I call your unfair advantage. And your unfair advantage is that thing that you have that skill in the context of capital raising. Like literally when you're trying to raise capital, you're trying to sell your business, or you're trying to get people to buy your stuff, people are literally showing up to the meeting and they're thinking, how much and when can I get in, as opposed to if I'm going to work with you. And the power of that, your ability to demonstrate demonstrate your credibility and competence, your thought leadership, and of course, that trustworthiness all wrapped into your unfair advantage. So for me, this conference was a really cool opportunity to present that. And we had a couple hundred people in the audience. I think they loved it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. It almost doesn't matter where you start as long as you package your story and tell it in a very specific order. So that's been the success of our business, and it's been what's worked really well for us. And the cool thing is, it's just seeing hundreds of people coming up and telling me about how, hey, I raised $1 million, hey, I did this, hey, I built this business. Like getting that result. For me, at this point in my life, it's been the most fulfilling thing for me because it's really given me kind of like that satisfaction of like the thing that I did for 20 years. Like imagine if you do something for 20 years and then you package it and then you give it to the world and then they know what to do with it and actually have success. Like to me, that's been the coolest thing about this whole conference and having the opportunity to share that story with everyone here.
That's actually why Martin's speaking at Limitless 2.